Ahoy shipmates, and welcome to a completely different video. Yes, for the first time in, well, as long as I can remember anyway, I'm not actually doing a pickup video. No, I hear you cry. Why are you doing that? Well, that's because there's something different and a project which I'm hoping to start very, very soon, and I'd like to take you through it. And what I'm going to do today is to try and give you some help, some advice on the best way to store certain games from a certain era. That's very, very vague, all will become clear, although if you look at the title of the video you're probably guessing where I'm getting at. Also a new angle today which I thought we'd try, because what I need to do is been a big area. I'd like to introduce you to some of the collection which you haven't seen before, which is the Xbox 360. Then we've got the original Xbox 2 layers, and then a little bit down the corner there. We've got some PlayStation 1 games here which usually sit up here. It's all fingers and pointing at the moment, but there's no room on the shelf for those because stuff needs to move around to be able to do that. Oh, bit of an itchy nose, sorry about that. And then you can see this is where the Wii section lives. There's three rows there. There will be more when these ones I bought recently on recent videos. I haven't put them away yet. And then beyond that, there's actually four more shelves of games, and they're probably going to stay there. And it's 497 altogether. So welcome to the Wii collection. Wii collection, YouTube Wii collection. You may be able to make out some of the titles and go, well, that rubbish some of that stuff is, but there we go. That's the sort of stuff I buy. Anyway, back to reality. You may have noticed that when I usually have the camera turned the other direction, we've got the PlayStation 2 stuff behind me, which has also got then the GameCube and the Commodore 64 stuff. And what we're going to try and do is now going forward is there is just literally not enough space in this room. Piece of advice is make sure if you put the game room together, one, you've got enough space to actually add to it, because that's the problem I've had. That's the reason that exists, is that I put all the shelves up and then realise that I've actually got no room for, well, very little room for new additions, which is why we've had to add that to it. Yes, I know. So what we've got here is, now this may be new to some of you younger gamers out there. Older gamers know exactly what I'm talking about, which is games like this. Now, this is a re-release, of course, Hit Squad budget title, but this is a Commodore 64 games, and the majority of the games came in cases that size. There were other ones in cardboard boxes, there were other ones in jewel cases, which I've got some of as well. But the majority of those came in that size, standard tape size. And in the old days, what we used to do was it would take one of those into a tape machine. It would take about 10 minutes if you were lucky, and it would work. If it didn't work, then you try it again, and you mess around with the fittings and the settings and all sorts of bits and pieces until the game worked. And usually after a couple of hours it didn't work, you've got a duff tape. It was very, very hit and miss, and that was before disc-based machines like the PCs and the STs and the Amigas, before we moved then on to consoles with cartridges. Modern gamers will be brought up on Blu-ray discs like the PS3, 4 and the Xbox One and what have you, but this is how we used to do it. And what we've reached the point now is I've got about 278, 280 I think at the last count of these, which I'm going to take off my shelf and then put them into a area where they won't be stored away, but they'll be kept somewhere safe, somewhere out of the way, that I can go to and pick up on. And then what I can do, I can move other stuff up and move other things over. That's the idea. But the whole purpose of this video today is to show you how I'm going to do that in terms of storing these games, because we've got an awful lot of them. That's the printer. So let me introduce you to that's gone better. In rehearsal, I say rehearsal, I did a video earlier and messed it up, but all these sort of sit out. This is an 8-drawer unit, which if I just turn it a little bit there, you can just see how big it is. There we go. 8-drawer unit of clear plastic, which comes with some wheels and some fittings in there at the back which you can't see. Firstly, I'd like to point out that I have purchased this from a well-known British high street do-it-yourself place, who shall remain nameless. No, I'm not being paid to show you this product, neither am I getting any benefit from it. This is simply something I saw at the spur of a moment and I thought, what a great idea that is. And we're actually out looking at other things in this store, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, let's have a look at that, because all this wood and brackets and things which is in the background has come from this particular place, and I've built all these shelves from that, cut pieces of wood to size, used planks, and this is all made to measure, not actually sort of this is what we call bespoke. None of this was sort of like designed as that. The only thing that you can't see anyway is the unit, which is always to my to the television side of me, where Basil sits at the back. That unit there is actually designed to be a bookcase type thing. And I bought 2 of those and turned them on this. I'm getting sidetracked. I'll talk you through that another time, because that's another story altogether. So we bought this, and with a quick calculation using our friend the internet and working out what the dimension of a tape was, I'd managed to work out that actually one of these units would enable me to store a lot, if not all, of my single tape games. Slight issue in that is that I didn't think there was going to be an issue. Now, if I pull this drawer open, probably this one you're going to see best here. My always concern about these things is when you've got a little ridge on the inside. And as you can see from there is there is a little ridge on the inside, and that pushes everything up a little bit. Now, had that not been there, these tapes would have nicely fitted, spine upwards, facing you so you know what you're looking at, like that there we see, and they would have gone. But the problem is, because that ridge exists there, it won't. Further on you go, you stick one there, just catches. You can see it just catches there and gets stuck. Now, I've taken a little bit off the front here, but it still won't go like that. However, what it can do is, if I take 4 of these games here, and if I turn them on their side like that, they will go in no problem. Okay, and if I turn them around that way, you can at least see from the outside what sort of games they are. Now, it's not quite as I wanted it to be. I wanted this to simply be spine up, done, bish bash bosh, done. Didn't quite work out like that, but by doing it that way I can still get 36 in a drawer, because I can get 3 banks of 4 at the front, then the next one, then the next one, and that gives me 36. There are 8 shelves. 8 times 36 is 278, which is exactly the right number of tapes which are complete. And I say complete, which means they've got the case and they've got the game inside, and they will go in there and work perfectly well, and it will enable me to at least see what I've got. I can also, which I'm going to do anyway, just keep a list of what's in what drawer, so if I need to find a game for it to get pad out and just scan through and oh, that game's there, and find it from there. But I thought that was a nice bit of kit. Now, it's not particularly inexpensive. It is inexpensive. It's £17. And if you've got more than like that, then you probably can, 2 of these, you'd get nearly 600 games in there, which is amazing. And I thought, yeah, it's just too good an opportunity to pass by and carry on. And I was desperately looking for a storage solution. I'm actually on to the point of buying some cardboard storage boxes, not quite document boxes. Well, they are document boxes, I think, but they're slightly smaller than that. Now, I could get 90 of those in per box. I've got 6 of those, which is 540. And I'm going to use them now for something else, because the dual case is slightly bigger, the cardboard boxes are slightly bigger, so I'm going to use those cardboard boxes for something completely different. But you can probably get a couple of, one of these, and I've got the majority of the games off the shelf behind me, and then I can categorise them, because I've got lots of Hit Squad, the budget labels, Hit Squad, Codemasters, Kicks, what's the Elite one called? Encore, that's it. Just looking, I've got Bomb Jack 2 down here, so I'm just looking at it. Mastertronic games, all those from budget re-releases can just go into there, been kept in one place, and that there allows me to move a number of games up the shelf. I can maybe move the Xbox stuff from down there and move that away. I'm going to put that on the floor. So it's a cheap alternative for storage, and something like that, you can quite happily put anywhere, and and it's not going to cause you too much problem. There's no difference. I mean, in here, this is our home office. We've got a filing cabinet under there. This fits perfectly under, you know, a unit as such. So it's not difficult. It's no taller than an under-counter fridge. In fact, it's probably about the same size as an under-counter fridge in terms of height. So it's not a massive amount of space, and I think to do something like I'm planning on doing is going to be absolutely ideal for it. Now, what I'm trying to do, and what I'd like to do, is do a very, very quick video for each drawer. Overkill, I hear you cry. Yes, overkill. Overkill. But there are a lot of great games in this little selection. You can just see here for this little one, these are 6 here. Bomb Jack 2, Platoon, Rambo 3, Wonder Boy, Trivial Pursuit, and Green Beret. Now, Trivial Pursuit, in fact, I think maybe 3 of those are already up on the website from about on YouTube from about 7 years ago, when I did a quick video on some of those. But I've got lots of those like that, so it would be nice to sort of show you those as well. And the idea is move them into there, and then I've got my Commodore systems downstairs, so maybe one day I can sort of set those up properly downstairs, or say, no, if I say set them up properly, that commits me to something, doesn't it? If I need to dip into them now and again, I will do so. So there you go. That unit, as I said, well-known high street DIY place, £17. It's a new range. You don't have to buy them in 8s. I think they sell them in 2s and 3s, so you can sort of build them up. There is also a coloured section as well, which costs a little bit more. However, those drawers are slightly narrower, and you may struggle. Certainly you wouldn't get 2 abreast in. You can get 2 abreast in that drawer. When I say 2 abreast, I mean like that. But you couldn't get that in the other drawer, the coloured one. They look quite nice, but they are more expensive, and they're not quite as wide, which means it might be a bit of a tighter fit. But I think if you've got lots of those knocking around and you want a nice clean way of keeping them tidy, that's it wasn't clean, because the most annoying thing about a lot of this stuff you're collecting is a lot of dust goes onto these sort of things. It's very, very difficult to keep them clean. That there goes into a drawer, it's out of the way, it's dust proof, and it's not going to get in the way. So it's an excellent idea. Let me know what you think, because if you do think it's a good idea, I'd like to hear from you. If you think it's a crap idea, by all means let me know as well, because we'll probably disagree on that, but you know, we can fall out. You know, we can always get back together at some point. It's no problem at all. And then what I'm going to do is do little videos here and there, just doing each drawer and putting games in there, and hopefully give you some of the memories, because some of those games I did play originally back in the day, some of those games I played recently, some of those games I've never played at all. And there's another interesting story about how I got hold of most of those, but that'll come next time. Thank you for watching. Another special video going up very, very shortly, which again isn't pickups, twice in a week. How about that, eh? But yeah, that's going to be quite exciting to sort of work out from what we're going to do on that one. Okay, that's the button there. So thanks very much for watching. Mind how you're going. Take care, and we'll see you soon.